Hey there, today we are unboxing this Otter Valley Canadian National transfer van. Not only have I waited nearly 3 years for this model to be released, this also happens to be my very first unboxing video. So let's pull it out of the box, let's take a closer look, put it through its paces, and find out whether it was really worth the wait. So this is the OVRTrains Pointe St-Charles transfer van, Canadian National number 76517. The model is beautifully packaged, it's well protected, and comes with instructions and everything you'd expect for a premium model. Before it arrived, I decided to do a little research because, if I'm being honest, I knew almost nothing about these transfer vans other than the fact that they looked really good. And as far as I know, nobody else currently produces a model in this NHL scale, so I was curious about the prototype. It turns out these weren't really cabooses in the traditional sense. They were purpose-built crew vehicles intended primarily for transfer and yard service, rather than long-distance road trains. And here's the part I found particularly interesting. The Canadian National built these themselves. These vans, from what I understand, were constructed at Canadian National's Pointe St-Charles shops in Montreal, using components salvaged from older freight cars. And contemporary railway references describe them as being built on retired 40-foot boxcar underframes. So instead of ordering shiny new equipment, CN essentially looked around and said, we got old boxcars, we got a major railroad shop in Montreal, we need transfer vans. And there you go, a very Canadian National way of solving a problem. What stood out to me immediately was how different these are from traditional cabooses. There's no cupola, the roofline is lower, and the enclosed crew space is paired with practical end platforms that give train crews a safe place to ride and work during transfer and, of course, yard operations. Considering these vans served for more than 40 years before eventually disappearing from the CN roster, it seemed entirely appropriate to give this little piece of Canadian railway history a second career on the Southdown. That's about the extent of my expertise on the prototype. Really, I bought this model because I liked how it looked. So if somebody discovers that a grab iron is a scale inch too far to the left, I'm probably not the person who's gonna lose any sleep over it. To my eye, this thing looks absolutely the part. And let's be honest, the CN red looks fantastic, the lettering is crisp, the color separation is clean, and the transfer van is exactly the kind of chunky, boxy look I'd expect from a piece of railroad equipment built for work rather than appearances. The overall impression is one of practicality. It looks safe, it looks functional, and it's designed to get a job done. This is not the Orient Express. Looking more closely, the separately applied handrails are well done, and the end platforms look excellent, and the various grab piping and roof detail help the model feel substantial rather than toy-like. The only thing that gives me a little pause is how delicate some of these details are. I may end up securing a few of them with some glue, particularly things like the uncoupling bar, just to make sure they stay where they're supposed to. And if the model has a detailed interior, I honestly can't see much of it. And to be fair, that's not really what I care about. What I do care about is that it has metal wheels, it's got some good looking trucks, it's got factory installed KD couplers, which feels increasingly rare these days, and the working marker lights on the ends are a really nice touch. The model also has a reassuring amount of weight to it. I rolled it through some Code 70 track, pushed by a set of consistent locomotives, and it tracked perfectly without any issues. Overall, it becomes immediately clear that a lot of love and attention went into the making of this iconic piece of Canadian railways. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the lights. Now, the model comes with a magnetic one, and reportedly there are spots on the roof that will activate different lights. For a model that's positioned out of the box to be premium, I kind of expected better than this, and I won't lie, when I saw the little wand, I kind of rolled my eyes. Turning the lights on and off or switching between them proved to be a real challenge, and the whole thing felt cheap. And on the last model that I had that required a wand to operate the lights, I promptly lost the wand, and then the magnetic reed switches inside the model failed, and I ended up just hardwiring everything. I would have preferred a more solid solution like DPDTs under the body, so I don't know, maybe I just might fix this myself. The price, at roughly $150 Canadian before taxes and shipping, I think most people would agree that this is not an inexpensive model. And by the time it reached my doorstep, it was only a few bucks shy of $200. That's a lot of money for what is ultimately a transfer van. Still, the price didn't stop me from buying it. I wanted it. And then the process. I placed my reservations nearly 3 years ago, and over those 3 years, release dates shifted repeatedly. Every time the model appeared close to release, the date moved further to the future. Twice, my pre-order effectively disappeared, leaving me staring at a page not found message. And the versions I had originally reserved were eventually canceled, but nobody reached out to explain what was meant for existing reservations. And when release day finally arrived, my pre-order vanished once again. After waiting nearly 3 years, I wasn't about to risk losing the model because of administrative confusion, so the moment I saw it appear on the website, I simply bought it. To be fair, I did eventually receive a forwarded email from the company owner containing information and photographs of the project, so perhaps communication was happening somewhere along the line, but from my perspective, this was the only time I was ever made part of it. Look, I recognize this is very much a first world problem. I ended up with the model. The model is beautiful and I'm genuinely happy to finally have it. But communication matters. If customers have waited years for a product, and especially if a production run changes or gets canceled, I think, a courteous email explaining what's happening. I know a few modelers who canceled their order because they had no idea what was going on and they got tired of waiting. Look, I don't run a hobby store and I don't manufacture model trains, so perhaps there are complications I'm unaware of. But if customers are your bread and butter, it seems worthwhile to keep that bread and butter properly buttered. Despite that criticism, I am genuinely pleased with the final product. Otter Valley has produced a beautiful model of a uniquely Canadian piece of railway equipment, and I'm glad I finally managed to get one. It's also nice to support a Canadian manufacturer that's practically down the street from me, and I am curious to see what they will tackle next. Hopefully, it won't take me another 3 years to find out.